So you're scatterbrained and can't help it. But here's the truth. Contrary to popular belief, hiring a VA might not solve your problems. And guess what? An OBM isn't always the answer either. Let's break it down. Hey leader, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if it's your first time. I'm Zhara-Marie and I help online service providers like you streamline their operations and scale their businesses without burnout or endless hustle. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly whether you need a virtual assistant or an online business manager, or maybe even both, and how the right choice can save you time, save you money and stress while taking your business to the next level. Let's get into it. Tip number 1. Know and understand the difference. So there's a school of thought that VAs and OBMs are the same thing, and that someone can be both. They can be a VA/OBM at the same time. Wrong, bang. In Jamaica, that's a thing that we say, but if you get it, you get it. They're not the same. And if you've hired one expecting them to do the job of the other, trust me, you're going to feel the difference. Here's the deal. A virtual assistant, or VA, as you'll hear I refer in this video, is an executor. You think of the task, you give them the task, they complete the task. Simple math. They do it exactly how you told them to do it. They're amazing at doing what's needed, but they require much more of you, more guidance, because you're still in charge and you're managing the process. Now, an OBM, or an online business manager, is an integrator. They think strategically, act almost like a copy of your brain, and bridge the gap between you, your systems, your internal projects, and even your team. Sometimes your OBM will even tell you what you need to do. They have the ability to take your vision and run with it, needing very little input from you. And truly understanding the difference between the two is so important because it helps you to figure out what your business actually needs. Are you at a point where you have the mental clarity to hire a VA, to direct a VA, to guide a VA? Because sometimes we're just not at that point. Or are you at the point where you want somebody to get you out of the weeds? The truth is, not every business needs both. I actually think that most businesses don't need both. But depending on how your operations work, how you deliver to your clients, and how your brain works, you might need one or the other. There's really no one size fits all. And that brings me to the next point, or the next question that I expect you to do as you decide. Assess where you are in your business and create a plan for change. Remember when I said not every business model needs both a VA and an OBM? That is where taking a step back becomes crucial. Here's the deal. We have to be honest with ourselves. Self-awareness, it streams all the way over to business. If you're at a point in your business where your systems are solid, everything from client inquiry to offboarding runs like clockwork, your projects are minimal, your customer experience is optimized, you're tracking key metrics, automations are good, they handle all of your heavy lifting, you might just need a little bit of extra help, another pair of hands. That's a VA. They can help out with the execution. But honey, if you're drowning in chaos, no operational structure, no SOPs, no foundational systems, and you don't even know where to start, that's where an OBM steps in, and of course a great one. I mean, I have a team of excellent OBMs. Just a little shameless plug, but let's continue. But an OBM can come in and pull you out of the weeds, somebody who can give you that clarity to help you to get to the next level. They'll help you to build what I like to call an operational backbone that your business needs to grow. Here's an example. So I had a client who worked with me for about 6 months, and during that time, we streamlined everything for her. Her business wasn't big. Her goals were big for her, right? And once everything ran smoothly, everything began to run smoothly for her, she realized that she now had the mental bandwidth to manage a VA. So we were with her for 6 months, and after that, she brought on a VA to help her with the continuous everyday task. Because the truth is, she really didn't need the ongoing commitment of a higher level partner like an OBM anymore. And for me, integrity is the integrity is so important to me. So I'm the type of person who will go to you and say, hey, I actually think that we're good. It's now time for me to step back. So she instead books a quarterly system strategy session with me to keep things on track. I go in and we audit what's happening. We see where there are cracks, and then I help her with the strategy for the VA to execute. And that's just another way of how somebody else has made it work. And if and when, I think it's more when than if, when she decides to scale to the next level, she knows that she can come right back in for OBM support. So let me ask you this question. Do you know where you are in your business journey? If you have no SOPs, you feel stuck, comment starter for a chance to be randomly selected for a strategy session. No, I want to keep that in. It's fine. This is why I keep great people on the YouTube family, because I don't care. So chance to be randomly selected, for a strategy session. But if you already have some SOPs and policies in place, I still want you to comment, level up, and you'll still have a chance to win, because of course there is another level for you to go. No. Sometimes we have specific types of tasks that aren't worth outsourcing and some that are worth outsourcing. And I might get some slack for this, but let's be real. The online space is kind of all over the place when it comes to who does what. What does an OBM do? What does a VA do? And the truth is there are no rules. There are no rules in online business, which kind of makes it complicated and fun at the same time. People just do what feels good for them. And that's why we love this industry, but also I can drive us a little crazy sometimes. That said, there are some tasks that don't just make sense to give an OBM. I worked with a business owner who wanted help with everything. When I say everything, I mean everything. She wanted a superhero, someone to schedule her social media posts, figure out her client onboarding process, do all her email marketing, be in charge of her graphic design, and she thought hiring an OBM would solve all her problems. But not every task is worth asking an OBM to handle. Why? Because you want to keep people in their zones of genius. OBMs focus on strategy, or they should, but of course you know how it goes. In a quest of making sure that everybody gets fed, everybody wants to meet their income goals, people keep on doing things that really they shouldn't do, but them want a little thing. They want to get that bag. So that's why you have people, cross doing what I like to call cross tasking, right? So really OBM should be focusing on strategy, systems, and leadership. Asking an OBM to schedule a post or sending repetitive follow-up emails is like hiring a project manager to organize a sock drawer. It's a mismatch. So instead, we divided the workload. The simple, repeatable tasks that didn't need much thought and that we already have streamlined, we gave that to a VA. So I tackled higher level issues. I fixed onboarding processes. I gave the VA the systems to work in because the VA wasn't equipped with the skill to create that system. And I created workflows that actually worked. This way, both roles were being used effectively. She wasn't wasting her budget on mismatched responsibilities. Imagine paying somebody higher per hour for responsibilities that you could have gotten for lower per hour. And then of course, you have to consider budget. Because as we grow our businesses and we're in different stages, you may only be able to afford a virtual assistant at this time. And that's okay. Don't ever feel pressure to get an OBM because all of your friends got one or because you're in a program that forced you to get one. If you can only afford a VA right now, you have to be okay with that. And you also have to be okay with the responsibilities that a VA can give you and lower expectations on what you think you're supposed to get. If you have money to pay for a VA, pay for a VA and still pull the level of weight that you would have been pulling if you didn't have strategic support. It's okay. The truth is you might not be able to go on vacation for a whole month and leave your VA in charge, while if you had an OBM, you would have been able to do that, right? And it's fine. It's fine because all of us have to streamline our businesses with intention and doing things that work for us and what our budget looks like. For me, I think that it's always really good to start with somebody who can help you to get tasks off the ground, and it's easy to get somebody at a lower I want to say at a lower cost per hour, but that don't make much sense. But it's easy to get somebody at a lower rate. That's the word, rate, okay? Not cost, at a lower rate per hour. And that's a low commitment. You can get incredible VAs from all over the world at different rates. I always think though, my hiring principles, I know that this is kind of an aside from this video, but set a budget and pay people for their skill regardless of where they are located. As somebody who's from Jamaica, I have experienced inequality when it comes to rates and wanting to demand being disenfranchised because of my location, and I don't really believe in it. So if you have a budget, stick with the budget, and regardless of where you're hiring from, stick to that as well. If this video got you thinking more strategically about your business operations, then you'll definitely like my free masterclass, Finding the Gap in Your Business, and you can find that in the link in the description thingy-majig. So what's the conclusion? Honey, there is none. But these are questions to keep in mind. I know that I kind of had you all over the place thinking out the different things to consider, but the truth is I really cannot give you the answer. You have the answer within you. Do not underestimate your gut. Do not underestimate your current needs. Work with them. Think of these things, and if you have any further questions, let's talk about them in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Bye.